Warriors steal another game one on the road, winning in Minnesota to take a 1-0 series lead, 99-88. A massive win to open the series for Golden State, but they paid a massive price. Yes, Stephen Curry, with a pretty serious injury that kept him out of most of this game, exited in the second quarter, went to the locker room, and it looks like a hamstring. Anthony Slater, with this, said Stephen Curry is grabbing at his left hamstring and is asking out of the game. This is in the second quarter. Potential trouble for the Warriors. And it was and wasn't at the same time. But more from Slater said Curry went right to the locker room during the timeout. He was grimacing. Not good news for Warriors fans, the Warriors roster, the Warriors coaching staff, and honestly basketball fans everywhere, because you know we love 30. More on Steph's injury and the timeline expected in just a moment. But make sure you are subscribed to the channel, because this is why you subscribe. When Warriors news goes down, we bring you a video the second we get a big update. So go down below, hit that big red sub button, and join us for the watch parties that we're having as well on the channel. For every single Warriors playoff game, we'll be live for game 2. More from Slater here. He said the Warriors are calling Steph Curry day-to-day, which is not good, it's not bad, it means completely nothing, to be honest. The day-to-day designation means they have no idea the severity. On the hamstring strain, MRI tomorrow for further update. Kerr said Curry was quote-unquote crushed about the injury. Draymond said he was deflated. Luckily, Golden State was able to persevere, and the supporting cast was able to step up in a big way. But the damning tweet that I saw came from Dalton Johnson. Steve Kerr does not expect Steph Curry to play in Game 2. And, you know, I was in denial a little bit. I think of Steph as this warrior, for lack of a better word, and somebody who is very resilient physically. He could take the jabs, he could take the bumps and bruises, but this is a serious injury, man. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And what crushes me the most about the whole thing is that Curry was finally getting some open looks, whether it be off-ball screens or isolation. He shook a couple of wing defenders from Minnesota a little bit, and he was finally getting some open looks from distance. He was 5 of 9 to start, 3 of 6 from three-point range in this ball game, and he looked very, very comfortable. 13 points in the first 13 minutes of the game, and it was crushing to see him exit for the rest of Game 1 and probably for a couple more games and beyond. I saw this tweet from an NBA Twitter doctor who loves to talk Warriors, and he said a quick thread on hamstring injuries for Dub Nation, specifically hamstring strains, responding to the Steph Curry news. One, important thing is to understand that a, quote, strain is some degree of tearing of the hamstring muscle. Already not great news, not love that, not music to my ears. Number 2, return to play is determined by the grade. In parentheses, grade 1 equals a micro tear, grade 2 equals a partial tear, and grade 3 is a complete tear of the hamstring. Location, muscle belly is better than higher up in the leg. Number of hamstring muscles involved, cross-sectional area involved, and degree of fluid and sweating are all factors into what grade it would be. He also said we did a study below looking at these injuries in NBA players over a 5-year period, and the mean time missed was around 6 games. That is even worse news to my ears. This doesn't mean that Curry can't be back sooner, but it's all based on the factors above. So with Curry getting an MRI in, I hope, the morning, because I don't know how long I can go during the day without real updates on how long Steph will be out of the lineup. I'll tell you what, though. Golden State is going to need all hands on deck once again in Game 2, because obviously we know Steph's going to miss that one. He probably is going to miss Game 3. I'm not speculating, but look, hamstring injuries, they are tricky, and they are not easy to come back from in a short period of time. He's going to miss Game 2, probably going to miss Game 3, and there's a chance he misses both of the first 2 games in Golden State in this series. And that's absolutely crushing. We'll talk more about Curry's performance as, you know, he puts up 13 early in this game. And we'll talk about the rest of the Dubs' performance. It's just so crushing because he was finally getting open looks after playing prison ball with the Rockets for 2 weeks straight. Finally was getting clean looks, and he suffers this injury. Couldn't happen to a worse guy. Face of the league. Everybody loves him, and he has to go down during this series. If you want Steph to be back in the lineup, healthy during this series, send the good vibes his way. Hit that thumbs up icon, like today's video, so we have good vibes for the Dubs and Steph the rest of this series. We'll talk more about this game in Game 1 as the Warriors win by 11 and take a 1-0 series lead, and there were some standout performances. We'll talk about that in a moment, but first, a huge shout out to our proud sponsor of the program, Prize Picks. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports platform because it's daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. All you guys got to do is pick a lineup of 2 to 6 players and just pick more or less on their projected stats, and you can win up to 2,000 times your money watching your favorite sports in real time. PrizePicks is my favorite daily fantasy app to use because it's so easy, so aesthetically pleasing, and they want to make it easier for you guys to take home the big bucks because they offer incredible deals like Taco Tuesday, where they discount a player's stat projections. Flex Friday, where if you lose your lineup, they give it back to you in promo funds up to $20. And the special deal that we are offering as well here at Warriors Today. Code CLNS, like you see in the bottom right of your screen. Use that promo code when you sign up. Place your first $5 entry, and you get $50 instantly. For tonight's action, I know you might hate me for this lineup that I have on PrizePicks, but I got Jimmy Butler less than 22 points. Rudy Gobert and Draymond Green to combine for more than 17 rebounds. Julius Randle less than 20 points, and Buddy Hield less than 9.5. You could tail my picks or fade them. Just do it at PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use the promo code CLNS for $50 instantly when you place your first $5 entry. You don't have to win to receive the $50. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks. Run your game. All that information will be clickable down in the comment section, description, and the chat right now of today's video. Look, Golden State in this game, and Coop, I don't know if I've ever seen this before. The Warriors shot a higher percentage from three-point range than they did from the field overall. Shot 43% from deep in this ball game, and we needed all hands on deck. Draymond started this game on fire. 5 of 6 from the field to start, 4 of 5 from 3. It felt like when Steph left the game, he gave all his powers to his supporting cast on this Warriors roster, and he set the tone completely, man. I really thought he played more composed in this time around. He did get into a little bit of a scuffle a couple of times with Naz Reid and Rudy Gobert, drawing back and forth, but nothing taken to any extremes. No text, no flagrants. I know that's a win in the book for Draymond. It's crazy that we have to say that, but regardless, he played a massive role, grabbed a bunch of boards on the glass, defended inside really, really well, especially against Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert down low, and he shoots 4 for 10 from 3. I cannot believe he puts up 10 threes in this ball game. Buddy Hield, who, I know, this is Jimmy Butler photo there. Yeah, it was a computer glitch. Get over it. 24 points on the night. And he was closing. I have a quote here I'm actually going to pull from Steve Kerr as he talked about Jimmy Butler. He said, Steve Kerr called it comforting to give the ball to Jimmy in the fourth quarter to protect the lead. Said they were even willing to take shot clock violations. Yeah, Steve Kerr says they were willing. They don't have to try to take shot clock violations. Golden State oftentimes gets a bad look late in the shot clock. Jimmy is as good as any star in the league at reading the game and controlling the tempo, and he's absolutely right. Jimmy in this ball game was dynamite, as I was just talking about Buddy's stats as Jimmy's. Buddy was unbelievable in this game, but Jimmy was as well. Again, grabbing 11 boards, 8 rebounds, filling up the stat sheet on the glass and in the Dimes game as well. But I don't know what has possessed Buddy Hield over the past couple of weeks, or just, I guess, say 2 games. Because he was bad in Game 5, Game 6 of the Rockets series. But he has the hot hand now. That was one of my keys to victory heading into this series. And he is making good on his promises for hitting outside shots for Golden State and being that floor spacer that they need and desperately needed in this game without Steph in the lineup. Meanwhile, Minnesota did shoot an abysmal percentage. They were 0 for 15 in the first half from long range. They end up hitting a couple in the second half, 5 of 29 on the game. And to be fair, it was looking like the Warriors were going to choke this away a little bit. Without Steph in the lineup, things got dicey down the stretch of this game. I think they ended up getting it to a 7-point game, maybe 8 or 9. But I was wholeheartedly believing that this game was going to be a clutch time situation and the Warriors wouldn't be able to get a bucket. But they got buckets down the stretch. A huge Buddy Hield 3. Jimmy getting into the free throw line. I mean, everybody was stepping up. GP2 stepped up. How about Pat Spencer stepping up in this game for a couple of big plays? Look, stats aren't going to jump off the screen, but a couple of crazy high-off-the-glass layups over the outstretched arms of taller Minnesota defenders. He has some moxie to him. He legitimately ignites a little bit of fire in this Warriors lineup. He gets down the floor quick, no doubt about it. Draymond had some good things to say about him as well. He said, Pat Spencer is a damn good basketball player. I know it don't look like it. The number 61 don't help. Pat is one of the toughest players on this team, no doubt about it. And for the first time in what feels like a long time, I'm going to give my flowers as well to Jonathan Kuminga, who, again, not going to jump off the page, but how many minutes did he play tonight? Kuminga ends up getting 13 minutes in this game, and he didn't make any mistakes. Thought he had a good jump ball with Terrence Shannon Jr. got his hands on that ball. He finished a dunk on the rim, at the rim on a good open cut, having good awareness of where he is on the floor. Played some solid defense, got some rebounds, got a rebound, and you know what? He made a couple of plays for Golden State tonight. I'm not going to be too mad, and he hit a big three in the fourth quarter, one of only 5 Golden State points for I felt like the first 7 minutes of the game. But look, they're going to need probably a bigger performance than 99 points out of the supporting cast for Golden State, with Steph Curry missing game 2 and probably missing another game or 2 in this series thereafter that. It is very unfortunate, and we will bring you more updates as we hear them on Steph after the MRI and all that good stuff tomorrow. So, with that being said, I want to know, Steph's going to miss game 2. What's your key to the Warriors winning not only game 2, but the series in general, dictating tempo and staying in possession of a series lead? What is your number 1 key to the Warriors winning this series without Steph Curry? That'll do it for today's video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I know it's a late one tonight, and we just had to bring you the Warriors news when we got it. So lock us in, hit that big red sub button. We'll see you guys all in the next one. And as always, let's go Dubs.